Okay, my list is rather long, and it's probably because this is the earliest that I've ever started decorating and creating for the Xmas season. I'm normally like digging my heels in. Like, I don't want to let go of Halloween. I don't want to put my decor away. My decor was pretty much a haunted forest theme for the entirety of 2025. So that probably is another reason I'm just ready for some change. I'm going to be doing decor for my kitchen, my living room, and a little bit here in the yarn dungeon too. So let's just start with the yarn that I'm going to be working with. We have the Big Twist Twinkle. I have it in the color black and also red. Very glad that I got this a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it was probably the beginning of November when I started to stock up on this because it's pretty hard to find this now. Like, we're all wanting some sparkle in our life at the moment. It's gray, it's gloomy outside. We need a little bit of sparkle, and it's got that metallic strand in it, but it's not so abrasive that when I crochet with it, I get fatigued on my hands. I don't even notice it anymore. Like, especially when I'm using Tunisian crochet, which I do have quite a few projects that I'm going to use this with my Tunisian crochet hook. It's just something about this time of year too. I just love a Tunisian crochet stitch. It's thick, it's chunky, it makes a really good fabric. That is one of the main things that I want to focus on this week is a Tunisian crochet pillow cover. So I have 4 in total on my couch, and one of them I've already kind of like set what I want to do with it, even though I'm not loving it. It's that jumbo yarn, the Bernat frosted. It looks beautiful. Like, once I get it finished, I'll show it to you this week because this is the week. Like, I have to get it done. It's been sitting in a corner for a while now. I just need to finish it. There's only a couple rows left on that, and then also the blanket for it to match. I just wanted to do a little throw on my couch. I like the way it looks, and also it's practical because my cats like to have a good squishy something on the couch. Right now, I just have a bunch of my Halloween fleece on there, but I wanted to switch it up with this. So I have to finish that because I already have the yarn, but every time I look at it, it's just like sitting here in one of my giant bins. I'm not excited about it. I don't want to work with it. It's just not my style of yarn. My arms get fatigued. It's so heavy. I'm using a 20mm crochet hook. That's just, it's not my go-to. This is my type of yarn that I like to use, which is a medium number 4. I can use a 5mm crochet hook, 5.5, or for Tunisian crochet, I can bump it up to a 6 or even a 6.5. So it's just a very enjoyable ride. Like, that is my bread and butter for the size of yarn. And especially when I want to do like a bunch of things right now, they're bite-sized projects. And also we're getting into the gift giving season. So I know that I have that coming up for the following week. Whatever I have time for this week, that's what I have time for. And then everything is going to go up and we're going to move on. A medium number 4 weight yarn is the way to go for me. The bulky yarn, at the time when I got it, I thought I was doing myself a favor of, okay, it's bulky, it's bigger, I'm gonna get the blanket done a lot quicker. But if I don't like working with it, it's just gonna take so much more time. Next thing on my list is Tunisian crochet dishcloths, which I have this yarn right here, and I'm gonna hold it together with a more abrasive yarn in black. Either hold it together or I'm going to alternate between it. Either a 6 or maybe I will stick with a 5.5 just so everything is, like, the stitch can be really tight. I don't really care about the curl, especially on dishcloths. I just want it to do the job. Like, it needs to clean my dishes. And so I'm going to stick with a simple stitch for this one, and we'll just play around with it. They do have a pattern on the outside, which is a little flower, and it's super pretty, but this project needs to be quick and easy for me. I would like to get 10 of these. The knitting machine, I'm gonna have to have an entire day just working with that because I wanna make a wreath with a bow. So my big Addi knitting machine and then the baby Addi knitting machine. My gingerbread forest C2C blanket, that has to get done one way or another this week. So I ran into a little bit of trouble. I didn't start decreasing with the first ball of yarn because I was distracted. I was having coffee and chit-chatting with my mom, and I thought that I was up to the row where I needed to decrease. Like, I just wasn't paying attention. I had attached the 2 strands together, thought that was the row that I needed to start decreasing. Did all the decrease, finished up both of the giant balls of yarn, and then I realized, okay, no, obviously I messed something up because I had about 10 to 12 rows left that I needed to do. And of course, this color is sold out. I don't know if they're gonna do a round 2 of it. Sometimes they do. Sometimes there's other stores that get it. There's a couple other places that I could go ahead and check, but online right now it is completely sold out. Either I'm super lucky, find another ball of yarn, or I'm gonna have to use some other yarn with it and just kind of make it work, because no matter what, it's going to be done this week. I want this to be on my reclining chair because that's going to be close to wherever the tree is, and it's gingerbread forest. I also want to make ornaments with the embroidery hoops and some of the fabric. So I went through my fabric stash and found a bunch of the scraps that I had, just like little tiny pieces that I wasn't using for anything else, and I'm just going to put them on here. So I did this last year with my mini trees and I thought it turned out super cute. So I want to add some to my garland this size, and I also have these bigger hoops, but this I'm gonna use for my cabinets. At the moment, I just have a bow on my cabinet, but I didn't really like that. I'm like, I need something a little bit extra. So I'm gonna put fabric in between here, put a bow on top of that, and then hang that whole thing on my kitchen cabinets. I also have creepy trees here, and then I don't have it right here, but I have skeletons with little Santa hats on. That I actually have quite a bit of. I have a lot of things to play around with today. I think we're gonna focus on the dishcloths though. I'm gonna refill my coffee and start playing around with that. Just a nice, quick, and easy project for this Monday, get started on my week. Dishcloths are going really, really well. So much so that I started another thing that I wasn't even gonna put on my list because I'm like, okay, this is a really, really long list. I'm not gonna get to all of this. But I'm really, really loving how these turned out and the fact that they are less than 20 minutes to make. That's exactly what I wanted. I have 2 of them finished already. I decided to do every other row instead of holding the 2 strands together. If I held it together, you really couldn't see the pop of color quite as much. It still looks nice. I completely ripped it out, so I don't even have anything to show you today, just because I was like, okay, we're moving forward. This is the way I want to do it. Let's keep going with this. And I only have 2 of these. Now I'm on to my 3rd one. So this is just the 2nd strand that I'm holding together. I don't have the tag for it. I don't know. I stocked up on this stuff a long time ago and I've just kind of been working my way through it. So I'm not sure if this is the loops and threads, but I know that they do have this line. I just don't know the color of it. I'm assuming black scrubby yarn. I don't know. Anyway, I'm moving on to this to see if I want to have just this red strand or if I need to alternate between red and black. I'm kind of liking how it's turning out. It looks kind of poisonous, like the back of it right there. Just reminds me of some underwater creature, which is kind of fun for holiday horror decor. I just need to do 14 rows, 20 stitches across, and then I have that many rows, and I've just been doing on repeat. I did write it down because this is the perfect size, and I want to know this for every season. Like, I'm not just going to stop with holiday horror decor. I don't mind this one, but I do like this color combination a lot better. This one is a little bit more scrubby too, so I just think I would reach for this a little bit more. This stuff, although it is really fun to look at, it's not quite as abrasive. I had this cookie jar laying around with the intentions of adding some puffy paint to it and turning the Santa Claus into a Krampus, but I honestly did not think it was going to get done this year. This is my new jar that I'm going to hold all my dishcloths, which I think is going to look amazing. So this is going to go inside here. Every part that's black on here was white, and even the spots where like the ceramic had gotten bumped, I covered up with a little bit of black puffy paint. It's a spooky little gingerbread cookie jar, or I guess just container. It said it was a cookie jar. I'm never gonna put food in here. This is just for my little dish scrubbies. I like that it's really big, and also that this doesn't have one of those suction cup things on the outside, because when I'm sitting down and ready, or not sitting down, when I'm standing up ready to wash my dishes, my hands are most definitely already wet, and I don't want to have to like pull very hard with this, so having it rest on top of it, I know this is a lot of fine details for something that's just holding my dishcloths. I did end up grabbing it too early this morning and smudged a little bit, but I feel like it adds to the character. I'm not gonna go back and, I mean, I guess I could. It's just puffy paint, so it would come off, but I'm not going to worry about it. I had intentions of filling the windows with yellow puffy paint, but honestly, I think that looks nice. I'm going to take a little break from this because once I get going with these, I just want to go, go, go. I was going to split it up over a couple of days, but it's something that I need my hot glue gun for, and once that's plugged in, I'm just ready to do all the things. And I really don't have that many either. This is definitely my favorite fabric out of all that I have for my Xmas collection, and I am using every little bit of scrap. Like every time I have something that looks really, really tiny and I would probably just get rid of it, I'm saving it now because maybe this works. Look at that. Okay, there we go. It works for this. This was part of Joann Fabric 2024 edition of their Creepmas fabric line. They had, which is all these other ones too, but this is my favorite, and obviously it doesn't exist anymore. So everything that I have, that's it, which means I need to find projects for every single thing here. This one might actually, no, it's only going to be the little ones. Okay, but still, at least I can get something out of these ones. In total, I have now 8 of these tiny ornaments, which were super fun and easy to make. I really only wanted 6, but I'm just putting it on garland. So 6 or 8, it's just gonna be a little bit more full now. There was a tiny piece of fabric that I could squeeze these last 2 into, and I'm like, I don't really know what else I'm gonna use it for, so let's just make 8. These, I'm so happy with how they turned out. So this was the part that was already on my kitchen cabinets, and I was just gonna have this strand right here. I was gonna make a bigger, more full bow. It has the Velcro on the bottom, that's how it attaches. But adding the spooky little skeletons with the bow, major upgrade. So glad I went that direction. And then this one is just gonna be in areas that I can hang up, so I don't need the Velcro part for it. Honestly, if I had more fabric, like different variation, I would do this for every room in my house. These are so much fun to do. And I do have more of these tiny embroidery hoops. I thought this was the last of it, but I found an entire brand new bag that I hadn't even opened. But really what it's running out of is the fabric. And I don't know that I want to cut more out of here just for the tiny ornaments. So we'll probably save that for another day. Tunisian crochet pillow covers. That's what I'm working on today. I brought the pillow down just to totally manifest like, hey, I'm going to finish this project all in one sitting. I thought I was going to have to split it between 2 different days, but I already have quite a bit done. So I'm working on the 7th stripe, and each stripe has 3 rows, so a total of down and back. And this is just with my first cup of coffee this morning. Things are moving a lot quicker than I was expecting, and I'm using a 6mm Tunisian crochet hook. I did play around with the 5.5, thinking that I wanted the stitches to be even more compact, but really this is enough. You can see the shimmer in it really well. The stitches, you can't see anything behind it. That's really what I wanted. I didn't want anything to be see-through on here because the pillow that I'm using is from my Halloween pillow, and there's a lot of action going on here. The area that this is going in is a pretty high traffic area. I mean, I'm sitting on this couch almost every single day crocheting. We watch movies in that room. I sit and listen to my audiobooks. So the pillow is a little bit lumpy. We might have to open it up and add some more stuffing into it, but otherwise it's a pretty nice pillow. Actually, I think there is a zipper, if I remember right, which would make things a lot easier. Yeah, there's a zipper right here, and I do have a ton of stuffing, so I can just refill it a little bit, cover it up, and good to go. I have another finished project. This is wild. I don't think I've had this many projects checked off of my wish list for December. It did take a little bit longer than one movie because it was rather long. So we did 20 inches across, 40 inches in length. I didn't want to make 2 separate parts. I just didn't want to take it off my Tunisian crochet hook. So instead, I'm just going to fold it over, put the pillow inside here and seam around it. In total for yarn, I ended up using a little bit more than 2 full skeins. So it would probably end up being 1.5 or like 1.25 of each color. I really thought it was going to be a lot more, and the stitch turned out exactly how I wanted it to be. It's nice and compact. You can't really see anything behind it. Here, let's put the pillow like that, seam it together, and you can't even tell that there's a cat underneath this. I did keep this strand here really, really long, like way longer than I need in order to close up all 3 sides, because I'm not gonna add a zipper, but I do wanna take this off and wash it. When I get to this side right here, this will be the last edge that I seam together. Instead of completely weaving that in, I'm just gonna stick the rest of this in the inside. You're not even gonna be able to tell. And then whenever I need to pull it off, I'll just find that little piece there, pull out the seam a little bit, and then throw in the wash. I've done this with many other pillows that I have around my house, and it seems to work pretty well. It's not that I don't like putting zippers on, it's just that I didn't have any on hand. So this is the direction that we have to go today. Okay, garland. This is something that I could sit down and make all day, which is why I saved it until the end of the day. So I'm getting ready for bed, kind of winding down for the day. Also, I am putting a time restraint on myself. I'm gonna start and stop with the movie that I'm watching today. The Lisette fork, it's just so relaxing and mesmerizing, and I really enjoy working with it. So I'm gonna start Creatures Were Stirring, which is a horror anthology. And when this movie is done, I'm gonna be done making garland for the season, especially since I don't need the garland for the tree. I'm just kind of finding places to put more garland. A couple of spots are about anywhere from 20 to 30 inches. So if I end up making 2 to 3 strands of garland, I'll be pretty happy. That'll be a lot of sparkly garland everywhere. This was all that I worked on today, finishing the blanket and the pillow, and it's officially done. So after this moment in time, I no longer have to think about this and I can just enjoy it. I love this yarn and how it looks. I know what the end result is going to be. I know that I love it. It's cozy, it's comfy, it's big, it's squishy, it holds up really well. So now that this is made, I don't have to make this for another season. Like, as long as I want to have this out, I can throw it in the washer. I lay it flat to dry because it's very fluffy. I don't want to mat this down. Now that it's all done, I'm excited about it and I'm very happy that I actually did this. But during the process, I'm going to say it was a little touch and go there. The only thing that got me through it was I said, today is the day. You have to work on it. We're going to throw on the movie The Mean One just to kind of lighten things up a little bit. It's just a fun little B horror movie for the holidays and just relax. It's so tiring to work with. That's what gets me, is I can't go as fast as I want to go. I can't do as much as I want to do because I know if I go any longer than maybe an hour and a half with working at this, without having something in between it, that I'm going to get fatigued. My hands are just going to be so sore. It is just kind of a menace to work with. Now, having said all that and the feels that I had as I was working up with it, yes, I absolutely am going to do this again. Like, it's not even a question. I 100% am going to work with this yarn in the future. There are other colors that I liked, but I think I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. So when I find a project, like, first and foremost, it has to be very specific. I have to know exactly what I want to do for this project, and I need to set down some time because I had the pillow almost completely finished and then started on the blanket. That's wrong. I should have just completed it start to finish, so that way I can have it out, enjoy my new project, and then move to the next one. Where, I mean, I have so many different projects going at any given amount of time. I don't have to like take up so much space with my other projects. I can switch back and forth between fingering weight yarn and worsted weight yarn, even all the way up to like a bulky 6 or 7 millimeter crochet hook, but this was a 20 millimeter. So yes, I am glad that I finished it now that I'm here on the other side of it, but I just need need to be a little bit more intentional when I work with this type of yarn, because there is one that is a coffee color, and I know there's different things that I could use that for. That pillow could stay out a lot longer than just Xmas season. So I don't have any of that yarn right now, but I'm strongly thinking about going and getting 3 or 4 skeins just to have on hand. That's the other thing. This uses a lot. So for this throw blanket, which I haven't measured it yet, this is 6 skeins of yarn. It's just basically not even a throw. It's like a lap blanket. Now, that was totally fine because I just wanted it to go on the back of my couch. This pillow, 3 skeins of yarn, which you would think, okay, that doesn't need that much, but yeah, it did. It needed all 3. I used one for the front, one for the back, and then almost an entire one to seam the edges of the pillow up. So again, I did it where it was just one full sheet, folded it over, and then seamed the 3 sides. Now, if I wouldn't have told you this, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, or maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe you'd pick it out real easily. But I feel like the seam is hidden pretty well. So right here is the piece of yarn. All I have to do is pull this off, and then there's going to be a knot. I'm not going to do it right now because I just, everything is ready to go. I'm going to put this on my couch right after we have a chit chat. That way I can keep things nice and clean, especially since I'm sure my cats are going to snuggle up on the pillow too, which honestly, I hope that they do because that would be so freaking adorable. I did do Tunisian crochet for both the pillow and the blanket, even though I didn't have the right Tunisian crochet hook for it. Really, I should have bumped it up to a 25 or even a 30mm crochet hook. It might have been a little bit easier because all the stitches were really, really tight and compact because it was suggesting a 20mm crochet hook. And with Tunisian crochet, you got to bump it up a little bit. I do love the end result. That fabric is so pretty. This is exactly what I wanted from it. I'm sure by the time I go to bed, wake up and have my coffee in the morning, I'm already going to think of other projects that I want to use with this yarn. So obviously I didn't hate the process that much. Wreaths on the Addi machine. This is something that is constantly out for me because it's not just a seasonal thing. I pretty much change it up every single month. It's so easy to do. And if you can make a tube on the Addi machine, you can make a wreath. Basically, all we have to do is crank out anywhere between 200 and 250 rows on the big knitting machine, pull it off, and then have some sort of structure on the inside. So you could do a foam insert, a metal insert, a wooden insert, but there just has to be a cut at the top so I can get the tube around the form. Now for me, foam is an absolute no. I do not like the sensory, across the board. I don't like the sound. I don't like the feel. If I have to cut it, even with headphones on, I don't like that feeling and sensation of it. It's a total no for me. I've done it in the past and I just can't do it. And I don't actually have a metal form right now that isn't being used. So I was searching around the yarn dungeon after I made my coffee this morning and I found this embroidery hoop, which is super giant. So the insert pops out. I'm not going to use this because I'm not going to cut it in case I want to actually use this as an embroidery hoop someday down the road. That's the thing about these wreaths too. It's you don't have to commit to it. And then it's like the pillow covers. I just take the cover off, save that for another day, and then reuse the insert. And this one has a little metal part. Just twist this off with a little washer. And this part splits all the way apart, completely separate. Now I can put the tube in here and then close it back up. Where I connect the yarn, instead of it being perfectly in the middle like I normally do, it's gonna have to be off to the side a little bit because obviously I'm gonna have to get the washer back on here, but I still think it's gonna be just fine. And this is the perfect size wreath. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm using the twinkle yarn, obviously, and I'm just going to do one color. We're going to make it really easy on myself this morning. The base of it is going to be the red, and then I'm going to use the small Addi machine to make a bow with this. For my couch, it ended up being a split theme. I really wanted to do the entire area Seasons Creepings, so black and red. But here is the thing. I didn't finish the second pillow sham, and I wanted to decorate today. Today was the day. I didn't want to push it any further. So I will finish that up and then just grab the other pillow, throw it over here. But right now we have Seasons Creepings with the pillow sham and this amazing blanket, which it is so cozy. I am 100,000% glad that I actually stuck with it, powered through, and finished this one up. I think it's gonna stick around too. Like, this is not just holiday horror theme for me. January, February, maybe even into March, this will stay on here, especially because this color is gonna go with a lot of different things. And then I found this fabric in my sewing room. I had about 10 yards of this. Obviously, I didn't need that much just for this pillow, so I might do some other pillows in different rooms of mine. I don't know, it just depends on, like, today is done. We're just doing the decorating. I'm not adding any more things onto my plate, but this turned out really good and it makes me want to do even more pillows with it. And then on the other side, we have the Haunted Gingerbread Forest with this thick, cozy blanket, the thick, cozy pillow. Both sides are fantastic for crocheting. I already tried it out this morning. So yeah, whenever that second pillow is done, it'll just go right here and I can just kind of sink into the couch. The tree is right in front of me. Throw on an audiobook. I do have a lot of those that I need to get into for the holiday horror season. And now for the tree, the only thing that I added onto it was these dehydrated oranges. Everything else I had from years past, including this garland, which surprises me every single year. I pull it out and I think, oh my gosh, this is not gonna fit the tree. Like, it does not look enough. Like, I'm gonna need a lot more, but it's very stretchy. I do have a couple crochet projects that I wanna work on tonight. I think this is gonna be where I start because I do have my record player, which is also Bluetooth, so it can connect to my audiobooks. Something that happens every single holiday season, it doesn't matter what holiday it is, once I have the decor up and I'm ready to sit down and crochet, I start thinking of other things. I'm like, oh, I really wanted to make that piece, a new blanket, even more pillow covers, and I constantly feel like I'm behind because I'm just working on these pieces throughout this season. I do not feel like that at all right now, and that is definitely because you were here with me, keeping me on track, even though I did add 2 different things to my wish list, and I didn't finish the pillow sham, even though that was a lot to ask for, like 2 complete start to finish Tunisian crochet pillow covers. I'm taking the win where it is. 1.5 are finished. I'm gonna keep slowly working on it, so it's not gonna sit around for too long. Let me know what you're working on for your very own holiday horror crafts in the comments below. Thank you again for hanging out with me. I hope you have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you in my next video.